Yo, welcome to Millennial Scrum YouTube. Today, I want to take a look back at Sword and Shield base set, the top 10 cards 2 years after its release. One of the reasons I want to do this is every set that comes out, we're kind of excited to make a top 10 list, and I wanted to revisit and be like, hey, how right would I have actually been? I didn't make a top 10 lists before I had a YouTube channel when Sword and Shield released, but I was like, I wonder how right I would have been. I can promise you after making this list, I would not have been very right, which is kind of interesting when you think about all of the top 10 lists that every single content creator makes and just how accurate they are or aren't. Another reason I want to do this is Sword and Shield is the first set of the block, and it had a humongous impact on the meta, and it turned out to be incredibly good. Cutting this down to 10 cards was very difficult. And once you see my 10, whether number 1 or number 10 or anywhere in between, let me know what you would have included that I didn't, because cards like 11, 12, 13, and probably even 14 are very, very debatable to be in the top 10. Let's go and start with number 10. I put Ordinary Rod. Not a card that most decks play. When you play 3 prizers, you really only need to have 2 attackers, so you don't really need to rod any of them back. Energy cards, nice, but you don't need that many energy cards again because you really only attack like 4 times in a game. With that said, Ordinary Rod gave something that we really needed in the format, which was recovery for single prize decks. Before Ordinary Rod came out, we had Lana's Fishing Rod, which was a tool and a Pokemon. Not very good. So this let single prize decks actually exist and has seen play here and there in some of those types of decks. Spiritomb being one of my absolute favorites. Saw in Tempozard / Baby Blounds. Mad Party, it was a hot topic of debate, but most of the successful lists were playing Rod. Rod just offers so much for all of these single prize decks. My number 9 is Metal Saucer. This card is ridiculously good. I thought I was going to see more play, except spoiler alert to a future card that's going to be on the list was just by far the best metal Pokemon. And so that was most of the reason it was used, was to help out that certain wolf type attacker that you've got in Zasheen. But Metal Saucer, an incredibly good card, one that I probably would have had in my top 5 when the set first came out, because it's like, well, duh, this card is absolutely broken. It's not in every deck, though. And that's something that I think you're going to see from Sword and Shield a lot as we go through the rest of these, is there are a lot of cards that are seen in every deck, and Metal Saucer is very, very specific to one archetype, and that is metal. Number 8 is Air Balloon. Air Balloon's another card, kind of like Ordinary Rod, although it sees a little more play, that most decks don't play it, but Balloon is constantly popping up in a variety of things, whether there was a tag team era, ADP played it, Ikaram played it, Mewtwo occasionally played it, not quite so much. Currently in the format, you'll see Balloon in something like the Sableye deck. Use it there. It's in Zasheen, Zamazenta. Sometimes in Suicune, it goes in and out of Suicune lists and Ice Rider lists, and it's just a good card. 2 less retreat happens to be free retreat for the majority of Pokemon in the game. Because of that, Air Balloon really sees a lot of utility, not as powerful as Floatstone, but really good card, sees play in a lot of meta decks as a 1 or a 2 of, because you can Shady dealings for it, go grab it, and get that thing out of the active spot. My number 7 is Evolution Incense. Like I said with Metal Saucer, you're going to see cards that are in most decks. Air Balloon's one of them. Evolution Incense is another one of them. Because we're in a VMAX meta, everything's got to evolve. Because of that, Evolution Incense is the best way to search out those evolution Pokemon. Search your deck for an evolution card, reveal it, put it in your hand. No discard, no trading a Pokemon like Pokemon Communication was, just an incredibly good card. One of the reasons it's not higher is half of the time it's been legal has been in a tag team era. And in the tag team era, this card was completely worthless. You didn't evolve anything in a lot of those decks. So a very, very, very strong card. But some people opted more for Pokemon Communication when it was first out, and most decks didn't even care about evolutions anyway, so they didn't even think about playing an Evolution Incense. Very good card, though. Going to continue to see play as long as it is legal, the further we get into a VMAX and V-Star meta. My number 6 is Shady Dealings Inteleon, just the Inteleon. I want to say that because, again, spoiler to the future, there might be another Pokemon with a Shady Dealings ability higher up on the list. I know, shocker. But Shady Dealings Inteleon comes in at number 6 because it is not the best part of the engine. In fact, most people who play the Inteleon engine opt for one of these and 2 quick shooting Inteleons from battle styles. This one, though, it is always a one of because it is so powerful. 2 trainer cards is one of the strongest come into play abilities we've ever seen in the trading card game. The reason it's not completely broken is it's on a stage 2, and that makes it good. But like I said, not completely broken because getting a stage 2 out can be pretty darn hard. So, ridiculously powerful ability, one of the best cards. But its stage 1 is very powerful, which kind of hinders it a little bit. And quick shooting Inteleon helps a lot of decks fix a little bit of math. And so normally people opt for more of those than this. Number 5 is Zasheen. Yes, I alluded to it earlier with Metal Saucer. Some of you are definitely like, that mellow, that should be higher. That goes back to the utility thing. The top cards are in a lot more decks, but Zasheen V is one of the best attackers in the history of the game. Intrepid Sword, really good ability. We also saw it in Mill. We saw it in Control just to draw a card. Intrepid Sword was so powerful, it made a card like Luke Metal, which had only seen one good regional finish in its entire history, suddenly become one of the best decks in the game. ADP, which was like a solid high tier 2, low tier 1 deck with Keldeo, suddenly become the force to be reckoned with that made most of us hate the game for quite a while. And now it's doing just fine on its own. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot Combo Zasheen too. Even when ADP was out, it was played with Jirachi Prism Star. The fact is, this card is just so powerful. Intrepid Sword, really good ability. Brave Blade, really good attack. It's been involved in 4 major archetypes as the primary attacker. Luke Metal, ADPZ, Zasheen Zamazenta, and Combo Zasheen with the Jirachi Prism. And it's Mills and Control's primary draw engine in the early game. Such a strong card. My number 4 is Shady Dealings Drizzle. Drizzle really saved the format, honestly. I think the format would have been so much worse without the tutoring effect of Shady Dealings Drizzle. There is a very strong debate. This card should be higher, and I don't think I would be against someone debating that for me because I think this was the card of the year from 2021. Those of you who listened to the Lake of Rage podcast, I called it that. I 100% stand by that, even though it's number 4 on the list. Drizzle, and therefore the entire Inteleon engine, was the format and really made the format a little more enjoyable to play. Searching deck for any trainer card is just like its evolution, the Inteleon with Shady Dealings, one of the best abilities we've ever seen on a stage 1 that is level ball searchable, is so incredibly powerful. Number 3 is Marnie. Marnie is going to come up ahead of the Shady Dealings Drizzle because I think every deck plays Marnie with the exception of Mew, and some decks can get away without the Shady Dealings engine. The Shady Dealings engine also didn't come into play until Battle Styles gave us Level Ball and the quick shooting Inteleon. Marnie saw play literally immediately. This card became meta right away. So Shady Dealings number 4, because it was very, very, very good, but it took an entire year to see play, and it's in a specific engine. Marnie saw play immediately, and you know what? It is in pretty much every single deck, and it's going to continue to be in every single deck, and it's even popping up in Expanded now, where Shady Dealings Drizzle probably never will be. My number 2 is Professor's Research, the spiritual reprint of Professor Oak, or Juniper, or Sycamore. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards is always going to be powerful. Just like Marnie, it's in every deck. It saw play immediately. It changed the speed of the format so much. Anyone who played before Sword and Shield, even just one set before Sword and Shield, and then after Sword and Shield, you know how different the game is. Pre-Sword and Shield, Dedenne was the only way to discard. Decks that didn't play Dedenne never discarded anything. You're just going to Cynthia and Lily, draw a couple cards here and there, shuffle your hand. Playing 4 Research made you dig through your deck so fast. Get anything you wanted because 7 fresh new cards is a massive hand. The Professor Research is number 2. Just like Marnie, it is in most of the decks. And my number 1 card from Sword and Shield is Quick Ball. Quick Ball revolutionized the standard format. Pre-Quick Ball, you had to play GX Pokemon or you had to play Psychic Pokemon because the only cards to search for were Mysterious Treasure for Psychic or Cherish Ball for evolutions. There were other ones, I know, you can say in the comments. Mellow, we had Pecom back then. We had Tag Call. We had, look, they all sucked. All of them sucked. You had Electromagnetic Radar. You had to play Pikarom. You had Mysterious Treasure. They weren't good. Quick Ball gave every deck in the format outs. Quick Ball is almost a staple in every expanded deck. Quick Ball is gonna stay a staple. Quick Ball is such a good card. Getting any basic Pokemon into your hand is also so huge. That lets you use Crobat. That lets you use any other coming into play ability like the Finneon that's going to be coming out soon. Quick Ball is the best card from Sword and Shield. Quick Ball completely changed the game. Research changed the game immediately. Marnie changed the game immediately. Quick Ball changed the game. We'll continue to change the game. When Quick Ball rotates, we're going to be sad. I promise you that. When Research rotates, Marnie rotates, Drizzle rotates, that might kind of suck. But the Pokemon search is too powerful. So let me know in the comments what you agree with, what you disagree with, because I have a strong feeling that there are going to be some disagreements here, and I think I know what they are, and I'd love to hear your arguments, because I could be persuaded on a lot of these. I think 1 through 5 are very much interchangeable on me. With the exception of Quick Ball, correction, 2 through 5, I think you can make arguments to change. If anyone can argue against number 1, I'm going to give you a cookie. Not a real cookie, but an internet cookie. But 2 through 5, I think that you can make an argument. And then 6 through like 14, I think there are a lot of arguments there too. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Kind of a look back at a set, and a set that really changed the game, like a lot. This is one of the strongest sets we've had in years. Like, comment, subscribe, all the other YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.